All right, recorded at Grim Reaper Studios, located somewhere at the base of the beautiful Blue Mountains in eastern Oregon. It's Sonoma Sideshow. And I'm your host, Les, the Snowman Kinnear. Tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go, we might do, I don't have anybody in studio for a guest, but we might make some random calls. But the main thing is I normally don't do pods during the summer, but I started having strange news add up. You know, I've been collecting articles, and so I thought, why don't I just do a quick episode with strange news and get caught up on everything else too. So that's what I thought I would do. And so stay tuned for the fall. I'll start having people back on the show. Just wanted to get on this and knock the dust off. So, what's new? What's going on in my world? Vacations. It's summertime, right? Everybody's been on vacations. In May, I think it was, we went to Palm Springs. On a side note, it was kind of a sad trip because Chris wasn't there. Chris Kinnear, my stepmother, I guess I would say. And so she's passed away, and so we missed her dearly on this trip, but she was kind of there with us in spirit anyways. Yeah, so, and the Larsons, David and Stacy Larson, they joined us on the trip, some good people out of Washington. Squim, is that where they live? Squim. Good folks, though. So go on to my YouTube channel. What is it? Les Kinnear 14. I don't know. Let's look up Les Kinnear on YouTube channel, and you'll see the video from the Palm Springs trip. Then also, we went to Montana here a few weeks ago for a wedding, so I did a quick little travel video for that too. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you can check out my travel videos. And so yeah, that's been fun, busy summer. I'm sure everybody else has been busy. What else we got? Coming up for vacation in Lincoln City, we're going to go early October for kind of, my dad's throwing kind of a family reunion type thing. So that should be pretty cool. Looking forward to that. I will make a video, might even do a live podcast from there. So that would be kind of cool, I think. We'll see. That could be terrible too, but who cares? I've only got 97 followers, so nobody cares. Let's see here. What else did we do? Oh, we're going to Indio, California in October. And the big news, Wendy and I both retired. So my wife and I retired. I retired in March, but due to some other things, I haven't really worked since January. So yeah, just been a loaf for 6 months and working around the house, doing chores and doing whatever my wife tells me. She retired in July, and she is still working at the same job, but they call it a work back because she has to take care of me, I guess. And so no, actually she's not ready to give it up just yet. So things are different. It's been awesome. What else? Show and tell. So rest in peace, my grandma Alicia Kinnear Bonesteel passed away. I mentioned that on a previous podcast. Through her estate, or, you know, I inherited a couple of musical instruments. So let's see if I can do this. This right there is called a harper nickel. And that was made by my great uncle, Olgit Larson. And he apparently was into making instruments and furniture and all kinds of woodworking. So this is called a harper nickel. And I also got that violin right there. He made both of those. So what's weird, though, is... So I got this fiddle from my grandfather, who his dad gave it to him. I got this violin from my great uncle and the harper nickel. So anyways, really cool stuff. I'll put some pictures up or something like that. But I don't know how to play them. Probably never will. But they're really cool to have, and it's really cool that a family member made it. So stoked about that. What else? Sports. I'm not really paying much attention to sports, other than I know the Chargers, LA Chargers, San Diego Chargers, excuse me. They did a preseason football game with the Lions, I think. Forget what that game. It's some sort of, I don't know. It's a memorial, a bowl or something. I don't know what the heck it is, but I think they wiped them up pretty good. And then what else? Only other thing I pay attention to is the UFC, and Dustin Poirier retired. So that was kind of a interesting thing to watch last week or the week before. What it was. So in the fight game, one of the legends retired, and time marches on. Celebrity news. Excuse me, I'm parched. Celebrity news. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan and the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. I was shocked at how big Ozzy is around the world. I mean, people went crazy as far as mourning him and all that stuff, which I thought was cool. I mean, I love Ozzy too. I went through my own Black Sabbath phase and Ozzy and that, but Ozzy in the 90s, what was that album? No More Tears, whatever. That, oh God, I can remember just cruising around my Ford Ranger extended cab with the canopy. No more tears. Oh, I loved that. What else we got? So rest in peace, Ozzy, and the Hulk. Come on, we all grew up with him too. So as I said earlier, this is going to be a strange news edition because I've been stacking these babies up all summer when I see one. And so I think I'll just run through a bunch of stories, and that'll kind of be the episode. There's some weird shit going down in the world. All right, let's jump right into this. Who gave me this story? This story is from the Huffington Post. Do you have ghost poops? Ghost poops might sound like an inherently scary type of bowel movement, but according to the gastroenterologists, they're actually quite healthy. Ghost poops are bowel movements that leave no skid marks in the toilet bowl, no streaks on your toilet paper. Julian Barton, a physical therapist at the Stanford Pelvic Health Center, calls these unicorn poops, or no wipers. That's what she calls them. Unicorn poops or no wipers. Because she says the stool is so well formed that there's no remnant or fecal matter left behind when you wipe. So she said, in other words, it's the perfect poo. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Apparently I'm not healthy. I've never had one of these. Let's see. Let's move on. Sorry. Start that with the poop story. Okay, this is from Science Alert. Human skin can taste things. So all of our skin can actually taste things. Our skin cells have the same receptors which serve a similar purpose as your tongue on a cellular level to detect bitter substances. New research led by Okayama University of Science biologists builds on our knowledge of, oh my goodness, this is too technical for me, of type 2 taste receptors. Yada, yada, yada. Can be found all over, but apparently our skin can taste too. I don't want to really go down that path. This next story is also from Science Alert. Let's see. Wild new study suggests buttholes once had a very different purpose. If the genes of a tiny, bumless invertebrate are anything to go by, our anuses might be repurposed sperm shoots. A new study suggests. Okay, well, I can see where my mind was. Let's move on to the next story. This story is from the New York Post. Sleeping Prince. Did you guys see this? A sleeping prince. Dude's been unconscious for like 20 years. Let's see here. The sleeping prince of Saudi Arabia dead at 36 after a 20-year coma. A Saudi Arabian royal who spent more than 2 decades in a coma after a horror car crash in London has died at the age of 36. Prince Al-Walid bin Khalid Al-Saud suffered a brain hemorrhage and internal bleeding. It wasn't good. So they kept him on life support for 20 years. I'm sorry to see him go. This is from 19 News. I think it's NBC. 19 News out of Cleveland, Ohio. Here we go, finally. Raccoon caught in driver's seat with meth pipe in its mouth during Springfield Township traffic stop. Springfield Township, Ohio. While our officers are trained to expect the unexpected, finding a raccoon holding a meth pipe is a first. In the Springfield Township Police Department, our Springfield Police Department shared. They explained that the car was registered and the car's owner had an active warrant, so they took them in on a drug charge, and then when they looked at the car, there was a raccoon with a crack pipe. So, I mean, that's strange news, right? What else we got? Okay, my garage is like 500 degrees. Let's see here. This is from the New York Post. They always do quality. Well, there seems to be a theme tonight. Who's my producer that put this together? Southwest Airlines passengers allegedly stripped, not passengers as in singular, passenger, allegedly stripped naked, pooped on a seat as the plane landed. She went excremental. A female passenger on a Southwest Airlines flight to Chicago allegedly stripped down naked and pooped on her seat as the plane landed, according to a report. Police officers were called to Chicago's Midway Airport Saturday as Flight 4118 from Philadelphia arrived, with one passenger shocking the cabin by taking off her clothes and emptying her bowels on the plane seat. She could not wait another second. Our teams, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, they don't say if there was some mental health issues or whatever, but they'd say that the plane was taken out of service for cleaning, according to the report. So that's good. All right, what's next? Well, hopefully this is working. I got these buttons on this thing I never use, and I just got booed for that one. But let's see. This story can be found on Instagram, Facebook, Reddit. The original story was from newatlas.com. And I don't know if anybody's seen this. In Denmark, there exists a unique food item, the canned cheeseburger. It's essentially a fully assembled cheeseburger, including the bun, patty, and cheese, all sealed in a can. I don't know. I looked up the picture of this, and it looks disgusting. I don't know why anybody would eat that, but this canned burger is marketed as a convenient survival or camping food, requiring only 10-minute boil to heat it up before consumption. The concept, it's from a Swiss company called Trekking Malazinkin, which specializes in outdoor foods for people, hiking and all that stuff. Sounds disgusting. I wouldn't do it. Next story. Let's see. Okay, now this one's bizarre. I mean, I love my wife, and of course I would do the same thing, but this I found, I think several places reported it, but Fox Weather's the one I quoted here. Kentucky couple loses arms to tornado's fury while clinging to each other. Definition of true love. I don't know if this is supposed to be London, Kentucky, I think it is London, Kentucky. Paul and Gail Klein's love story is just one is not just one. Let's see, it's not just one of tragedy. It's about the extraordinary power and enduring love that true couples can only share even in their darkest hour. The London, Kentucky couple, lovebirds, faced hell, blah, blah, blah. Looks like an F4 an F4 tornado came through, and apparently they were holding on to each other when it came through, and they each lost a limb. I don't know if something fell through, but they clung to each other. However, the force that tore their home apart also claimed their arms, each losing an opposite limb. What the hell? That's bizarre. Okay, let's move on. Next story, Spokesman Review. This is from the Spokesman's Review out of Spokane, Washington. Container ship barely misses Norwegian man's house after running aground. Now, I don't know if anybody's seen this on social media anywhere, but I have seen several of these things talking about, and they show the picture, and it's incredible. I mean, this giant, cargo ship runs aground, and this guy's cabin, he's got the cabin right on the ocean there. And so, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Have to check that out. I'll put a picture up, of course, but they still don't know why it happened. He said he woke up and he came out and saw that, and then the ship crew, they haven't figured out exactly why all that's happened. So that's kind of crazy. Next story, this is from the travel.com. Now this is interesting. Okay, how this town's unusual ban created the world's only blue McDonald's sign. So I didn't even realize this, but recently we went to Arizona, and we went up to Sedona for the day and just checked it out. And I did not realize that they have the only non-golden arch in the world, because Sedona City would not let you put up any signage that is orange and reds and golds and anything that matches the surrounding environment, because they don't want it to take away from their own. Let me just read it, I guess. How this town's unusual ban created the world's only blue McDonald's sign. Okay, let's be honest. Is there a more recognizable sign than the golden arches? While there are some variations in the McDonald's menus around the world, one thing stays the same. It's the red and yellow colors. However, a bizarre ban in one particular U.S. town results in an iconic McDonald's sign that isn't golden. So Sedona, Arizona draws visitors from all over the world. Anyways, yeah, they had a code in place that you can't have that. So McDonald's said, all right, we'll do it. So I thought that was interesting. No. All right. Next story. This story is from Live Science. Natural Viagra. Spider bite causes erection. A Brazilian spider delivers more than a painful bite that sends most of his victims to the hospital. Its venom stimulates an hour-long erection. Scientists have figured out the chemical seems to be responsible for the peanut in Brazil. So, yeah, science, they've dug into it, and apparently this spider can cause this. The erection is a side effect that the body, everybody who gets stung by the spider will experience, along with the pain and discomfort. And, oh boy, that is bizarre. Okay, yeah. Let's move on. This story's from CNN. Rare 19th century condom with erotic etching goes on display at Dutch Museum. A rare 19th century condom decorated with an erotic etching featuring a nun and 3 clergymen is going on display at a museum in the Netherlands. Believed to be made from sheep's appendix, the prophylactic dates back to 1830 and is likely a souvenir from a brothel. The inscription, Voilà mon choix, means this is my choice. I don't know. apparently, yeah, I don't know. Strange news, man. This one's from Variety. Leanne Rimes, she lost her teeth popped out during a concert. And she said, if you catch them, please return them, apparently. So country singer Leanne Rimes bravely displayed showmanship when her teeth popped out while performing mid-concert. She addressed the incident in a video uploaded to Instagram where she warned all of her future concert goers, if you catch them, please return them. She says, quote, there wasn't a fucking thing I could do about it except either walk off or just hold my teeth and sing. So I just ran with it, Rhymes said. The show can go on, even in the midst of sheer, utter embarrassment. You got to be real with people. Got to give it to her. She apparently has had a lifetime of dental problems from what I've seen or read, and so that really happened, and she just kind of owned it. So good on her. All right, come on. What do we got left here? This one is from livescience.com. Diagnosis dilemma. Orgasm involving a kitchen whisk triggered person's fatal aneurysm. Finally. Okay. Finally a story. Let's see here. Then I lost it. A 39-year-old woman in Belgrade, Serbia. That's why. The woman's ex-husband found the woman's body in her apartment and notified the police. She was lying on her left side on the living room couch, and her body was covered by a blanket. Police removed the blanket to examine the body. The woman was naked from the waist down, and there were no visible signs of violence or injury. The police then discovered an object protruding from the woman's bottom, and it was one of those spring whisks. And where'd it go? Spring whisk. The autopsy concluded that she may have died when she orgasmed because it triggered what they call a berry aneurysm, and they think that's what killed her. So it burst. Burst in the space between her brain and the surrounding tissue. So yeah, that's how she went out. Interesting. I got a man pulled into an MRI machine because he was wearing a necklace. That was in New York. That was real. I vetted all these. We're going to skip that. And I've got 2 stories left, but one of them we're going to call Pork Chop and see if he knows anything about this. He may not answer. This will be a random phone call that I can probably cut out of the show if I had to. So let's look at this and call him. Let's see here. High tech, baby.
Hello?
Hey, Pork Chop, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Good. You got 2 minutes?
I do.
Excellent. I just, I'm doing a special episode where I'm just doing strange news, and I've come across a story, and I thought I would call you as I read it out, and you can maybe tell me what's going on down in Texas.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. This was from, I got the story. It was in several places, but this is from people.com. Police thought man in room 348 died of natural causes. The truth was buried inside his body. In 2010, Greg Flanagan was found dead in his locked hotel room at the MCM Elegante in Texas. Originally thought to be a death by natural causes, was later found to be a bullet had entered through the hotel room wall. It had entered his scrotum, making its way up through his body into his heart, causing Greg's death. So apparently, at first they didn't know what happened to the guy, and they just, natural causes, they thought he just had a heart attack. But then later they're like, well, how in the hell did everything get so destroyed inside his body? And so They did a little more investigating, and the wife was even like, something has to be going on here. And it turns out that what happened was 3 union workers from Wisconsin had been staying in room 349 just across the wall from Greg. On the night of his death, they'd been drinking and watching sports. After the electrical work of the day was done and drinks had been poured, one of them co-workers, Lance Mueller, pulled out a 9mm Ruger handgun to show off. Mueller, clearly drunk, was playing around, and he started doing kind of like quick draw stuff. And when he was doing the quick draw, apparently the gun went off, and they all just sat there quietly waiting to listen. They heard nothing. No one reported the shot. They didn't hear anything. So they just kept their mouths shut. So it turns out that's what happened. The bullet went through the damn wall and shot the guy while he was laying in bed. He had a cig in his hand. He was watching a program, and it went through his scrotum, up through his rib cage and heart. And here's what's terrible. I mean, that's terrible. That's terrible. But the dude that did it, who was just being silly with his coworkers, he got 10 years in prison.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So for it. So involuntary manslaughter. So, okay. Well, I don't know if you have any comments about that for Texas, but.
Well, I remember when that happened.
Oh, do you? Because it was in your neck of the woods, I think.
Yeah.
Beaumont, maybe?
Yeah.
Right. You didn't have anything to do with it.
No.
No.
Not this one.
No, you're into bridges and shit. You don't do electrical. Okay, well, how's things going on in Texas?
Great, man. Staying cool.
Yeah. How do you like that new little barbecue you got with coal barbecue?
Love it. Did some street tacos today.
Ooh.
Chicken and steak. Oh, man.
Is it just me, or does just meat taste better off coal?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll let you go. I just wanted to call and ask you about this random story that I found. I thought it said it was in Beaumont, but and I thought maybe you remember that story, but other than that, love you, partner. Pork chop, take it easy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, bro.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
See there? Just did a random call. Got pork chop on there. So what do we got left? Let's finish this up. I've got 2 stories. One is from NBC News. Bat flies into woman's mouth in Arizona, costing her nearly $21,000 in medical bills. Erica Kahn, who lives in Massachusetts, wasn't injured when she had a close encounter with a flying mammal at the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. So what happened, and this story rings true or is important to me because I'm in the same. Or let me just explain it to you. She had a job. She was working. She had insurance, and then she got let go. When she got let go, she had the option to get that Cobra insurance or whatever, and she decided not to while she was waiting to get another job. They go on vacation to this Glen Canyon recreational area, and she ends up, a bat hits her in the face. She's looking down at her phone because she had taken some pictures, and a bat hits her in the face, and some of it got in her mouth, and she said she could taste it. It was salty and gross, but it flew out, and then she had to go and get a tetanus shot and do all this stuff at the hospital, and she had no insurance, so nobody covered anything. And so, I was kind of disappointed when I realized the article was about kind of really more about getting insurance, that in-between insurance, but she still tasted a bat and had to go through all that, and it cost her $21,000 in medical bills. So, last story of the night. This story came from the Associated Press. So the AP reported that hot dog spill shuts down highway. And I wanted to do this one at the end because that's what I'm having for dinner here in just a few seconds. Hot dog spill shuts down highway in Pennsylvania. Commuters' worst nightmare. In Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, A truckload of hot dogs spilled across a Pennsylvania interstate Friday after the crash that briefly clogged the heavily traveled freeway. So, and I've got a picture here. There's just hot dogs everywhere, and everybody was pissed off. Once those leave the truck and hit the road, that's all garbage, and it's still pretty warm. So they're talking about how gross it was. When the truck scraped along the concrete divider, its trailer was ripped open and scattered. 4 people required medical attention, and the injuries that police said were not life-threatening. So, you know, what happened to you? I hit a bunch of wieners. And all right. That's the special edition strange news edition. That's all we got. We're caught up, so thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and that's a wrap, folks. Stay tuned for future episodes in the fall, if not sooner, and plan to attempt a live episode this season. Attempt to plan to be at a live event. So I want to thank tonight's sponsors: Bill Murphy Roofing, Wandering Wizard Concepts, Vertical Jigs and Lures, Liberty Detection Services, DCL Photography, The Shop, DieselFuelFilterKits.com, Bridgetop TV, Southpack Inc., and the John P. Salter Foundation. Keep your nose clean if it takes both sleeves. I'll talk at you later.